Good morning. This is Shelby Law with the Great Basin Prescribed Fire and Smoke Briefing for Friday, April 12th, 2024. Starting first with the precip, here we see on the left the inches for the past 7 days, and we've had some storminess across the north, especially western Idaho has seen some good precip amounts in northern Nevada as well. Over the past 30 days, percent of normal here, kind of a mixed bag with some areas with quite a bit above normal precip, including southern Utah and western and southern Idaho, and then some areas that were on the drier side, western Wyoming, portions of Nevada. Snow has been pretty light the past 3 days here. Really no snow to speak of, especially except maybe on the northern fringe there in the central Idaho mountains. Snowpack, however, is still looking really good with above average values over Utah and Nevada, and even slightly above average over southern Idaho, and right around average for western Wyoming and the central Idaho mountains. So looking pretty good. All right, let's look at the forecast here. The main impact coming is this low pressure system off the California coast that will be moving through the Great Basin over the weekend and into the first part of next week. We're expecting warm and dry conditions out ahead of that low before it swings through. So today should be a generally sunny day, although there is some moisture wrapping around kind of out ahead of that low that's moving up around the ridge that will bring some showers into some areas. Ventilation rates are very high ahead of this low. Okay, the transport winds for this afternoon are going to be pretty breezy over Nevada with values 30 to 35 miles an hour, maybe even a little bit higher with the gusts in Nevada there. Western Utah will also see some breezy conditions. Mixing heights are very high across much of the area. It's also going to be a warm day today with highs in the mid to low to mid, even upper 70s in some areas, so a really nice spring day. Probability of precip is pretty low for most of the area, although we do see some moisture kind of out ahead of that low into northwest Nevada and portions of western Idaho for some isolated storms there. On Saturday, the low begins to move inland into central California there. Still pretty dry for most of the Great Basin, but we will begin to see some storminess moving further into western Nevada there. Ventilation rates remaining high. Transport winds pick up even more on Saturday, especially in Nevada ahead of that low with gusts maybe into the 50s in these brown areas here in central, south central Nevada. And then a little bit breezier there in western Utah on Saturday. Mixing heights are really high across the area. Okay, temperatures will start to come down a bit over western Nevada, where we'll see some of the moisture beginning to move in as the low gets closer. Still remaining warm over Idaho and Utah, however. Looking at probability of precip, still dry for most of the central and eastern half of the basin, but right on that western fringe, we'll start to see a better chance of some showers there. All right, by Sunday, that low continues to swing inland, affecting more of the Great Basin. So cooler temperatures and more scattered showers, especially in the western half of the area. Drier in the eastern half. Ventilation rates still high everywhere. The transport winds do decrease over Nevada. Finally, by Sunday, we'll see some gustier winds over southeast Idaho and maybe southeast Utah, and maybe portions of southern Idaho as well. Mixing heights still remaining high. Temperatures do come down quite a bit beginning on Sunday, especially across Nevada. Highs are going to be down into the 50s, low 50s, which is a pretty dramatic drop from the previous couple of days. Still on the warmer side in Utah before the cooler air moves through early in the week. Probability of precip we can see here still dry in the eastern and southern portions of the area, but more widespread showers over northern and central Nevada and into western and central Idaho. Okay, Utah's forecasted clearing index here is going to be very high through the weekend. 3-day precip totals are shown here. This is mainly going to be, let's see, Saturday into Sunday when we'll see that moisture moving into the western portions of the Great Basin. The most of precip is going to be over California, but we will see some spreading into the western half of the area Saturday into Sunday. Okay, on Monday, that low finally swings through the Great Basin, bringing much cooler temperatures area-wide and some more widespread precipitation to the eastern half of the geographic area. Ventilation rates remain high. Some of the moisture will linger on Tuesday as another low drops through from the Pacific Northwest and Northern Rockies. Drier air coming into Nevada. but again, moisture lingering on the eastern half. Ventilation rates still high. And then finally by Wednesday, we'll start to see some clearing across much of the area. Cooler temperatures remain in place. Lows could get down into the 30s early next week, early to mid next week, with some of this cooler air moving in. Ventilation rates still staying pretty high, but we do see some lower values beginning to work their way into the southern and western portions of the area. And then continued dry on Thursday. The precip accumulations for days 4 and 5. This is Monday and Tuesday. We can see the precip moving further eastward into Idaho and Utah in particular, with some dryness moving back into Nevada. The extended forecast, April 19th through the 25th, is calling for above normal temperatures across the area and a below normal precipitation trend. So it looks like we're going to move into a warm, dry period as we head into the towards the end of the month. This concludes today's smoke dispersion briefing. Please check back on Monday for the latest updates.